Right, fraction of an amount. In this case it says calculate 2/5 of 45. Okay, so when they ask for a fraction of a quantity, with this, especially in a non-calculator exam, I would work out 1/5 first. Okay, always work out what one part of it is worth first, because 1/5 is easy, much easier to do. Don't forget, 1/5 just means divide by 5. Okay, just like 1/2 means divide by 2, 1/3 means divide by 3, 1/4 means divide by 4, 1/5 is divide by 5. So divide 45 by 5, you get 9. So then, if you know 1/5 and 45 is 9, 2/5, well, you just got to double it, so you get 18. Okay, on to question 2. Carl has £500. He saves 2/5 of the £500 and spends 1/4 of the £500. What fraction of the 500 does Carl have left? Well, again, same principle. Work out 1/5 of 500 first. Of course, divide 500 by 5, you get 100. So that means 2/5 of 500 is going to be double that, £200. Okay, now this is what, of course, he was saving. If we look at what he spends, 1/4 of 500. So you just got to divide that by 4. Okay, so divide by 4, you could just halve it, couldn't you? And halve it again, so you get £125. So that money's gone. Okay, so in total now, the total money gone is 200 plus 125, which is 325. It says what fraction of the 500 does he have left? Now, in terms of how much he's got left, it would be 500 take away 325, wouldn't it? Which is £175. But they're not actually asking for that, they're asking for the fraction. So as a fraction, it'd be 175, wouldn't it, out of what he started with, which is £500. Okay, now there's your answer. Okay, this is the fraction he's got left. The question doesn't ask you to simplify it, so you could leave it like this and you'll get full marks. Alright, if you wanted to simplify it, you could look at what's going into both of these here. Okay, now a bit of a tip really, if something ends in 75, 25 will go into it. So 25 goes into this actually 7 times. Okay, because if you think about it, 25 goes into 100 4 times. So with 75, then there's an extra 3 to give you 7. And for the bottom, 25, don't forget, it goes into 100 4 times. So if you've got 5 lots of 100, you have 5 lots of 4, which is 20. Okay, but as I said, if it doesn't say simplify, you're going to get the full marks just for this. Okay, question 3. David has £600. He spends some of the 600 on rent and food. His rent is 1/4. Okay, so we can work that out straight away. The rent, 1/4 of 600. That is just obviously halve it and halve it again. That's what dividing by 4 is, isn't it? So halve that, you get 300. Halve it again, you get 150. And then 1/5 on food. So 1/5 of 600 is just divide that by 5. So that's not easy, isn't it, to divide that by 5. Let's use the bus stop method. Divided by 5. Now 5 goes into 6 once. There's 1 left over, isn't it? So you've got 5 into 10 goes twice. There's nothing left over, and then 5 into 0 goes 0 times. So it's 120. So you spent that amount. So what fraction remains? If you add them together, you get 270. So in terms of what's left of 600, there'd be 330, wouldn't there? £330 left. So the fraction that's left then is 330 out of what he started with, which was 600. It does ask you to simplify it, but you know, so here, I mean, the zeros would cancel, wouldn't they, straight away? And then 3360, well, 3 goes into 33, doesn't it, 11 times, and it also goes into 60. well, it goes into 30 10 times, so 3 goes into 60 20 times. And that's your answer. You can't simplify that any further. Question 4. Okay, Manilo won some money. He gave each of his close friends 1/24 of the money he won. He kept the remaining 2/3 of the money for himself. Okay, so he's given away each of his friends is getting 1/24 of the money that he won. He's keeping 2/3 of the money for himself. How many close friends does he have? When I look at this question, I look at the fraction here. 2/3 he's keeping. 2/3 of the money is left over, which means he's given, if you think about it, he's given 1/3 away. Okay, so he gives 1/3 away to friends. Now he doesn't just give this to one friend, obviously, because it says here he's got more than one friend, and he gives them 1/24. Now the 1/24 he gives away to each of his friends, that will all add up to 1/3. Okay, so there's certain amounts of 24ths. Okay, he's given away, so it ends up equaling 1/3. Okay, I mean I put 3 there, but there's could be a lot more. So really, if we were adding these up, you need to see how many goes on the top. Okay, how many of these 24ths are we adding together so that it equals 1/3. There's an easy way of doing that, of course, just by scaling the fraction. So if you think about it, 24 to 3, well, of course, I need 1 there on the top anyway, don't I, because it is 1/3 he's given away. So how many 24ths are there? How many friends has he got? Well, if we think about it, 3 to 24, you're multiplying by 8 to get 24, yeah? So all you've got to do is times the top by 8. So in effect, there'll be 8 24ths. 8 of these will give you 1/3. So he's got 8 friends.